A short suspense thriller, Ahalya. This is the modern day interpretation of the life of Devi Ahalya of the Ramayana, and this 15-minute long movie has gone viral online. And Radhika Apte, she is getting a lot of praise for her role as the modern day Ahalya. So what was the story of Ahalya in Ramayana? Rishi Gautam's wife, she had turned to stone, was seen as very close to Lord Indra. Her husband Gautam Rishi was very angry once she turned to stone. After several years later, when Lord Ram came there and touched her, she once again came alive. This is the modern day interpretation. There is Indra and there is Ahalya and there is her husband. Now Radhika Apte joins me on the broadcast, and we will talk about what is this modern day interpretation of Ahalya all about. Radhika, welcome on the newsroom. If we were to talk about Ramayana's Ahalya, now she was seen as the victim. In your movie, it's the men who turn to stone. So what's the message, Radhika?
Well, there is no message as such, but it's Sujoy's interpretation of the story, and how in the story Ahalya got cursed. In his interpretation, Indra gets cursed.
It's a very fascinating movie. It's getting rave reviews. What attracted you to this movie? Was it the script? Was it your co-star? Was it the director?
I think there were three major factors. One was, of course, it was Sujoy Ghosh's film, and I really admire him as a filmmaker. Secondly, and most importantly, Saumitra Da was a part of the film. I had actually done a film with him in Bengali, but this was another opportunity to work with the legend. So, and thirdly, the story on my part, which I thought was very fascinating and something new for me to do.
How difficult was it to turn a story from Ramayana and then make it contemporary, and that too a short film, a 15-minute film?
I think a lot of it was taken care of by Sujoy because he had written it very differently. And it was set in a particular space, so once I went there and I knew what I was wearing, what time it was taking place, and the space around, you sort of get the hang of it, I think. So yeah, there was not much preparation, but being there in Kolkata really helped.
Okay, and did you go through Ramayana? As per Ramayana, Ahalya is a stunning young wife of a much older Rishi Gautam, and it's Lord Indra who comes in disguise of her husband, seduces her. Learning of his wife's extramarital affair with Indra, the sage punishes her, he punishes Indra. Of course, Ahalya Devi was turned to stone. In this film, the police officer, he's also called Indra. You, the young, beautiful wife of a famous aging artist. So, can this movie be compared to perhaps a modern-day interpretation of Ramayana?
Well, I think it's up to everybody to decide, I think. You know, some people could compare it and find some interpretation of their own. But even if you don't compare it, I think it's okay. It's a new interpretation.
So, is this perhaps a modern-day take on maybe an extramarital affair, infidelity, and it's not just the girl who has to pay the price. In this movie, it's actually the men. You know, I don't want to give the plot away, but tell us more about this.
I think it's not a direct message like that, but it's, I think, one of the threads, probably like an underlying thing where you could interpret it that way. But I don't think it's a direct message saying that if you do that, then you get turned into stone. Because I think there's a mixture of that, and there's a sort of mixture of even Saumitra Da sort of letting him into the trap. You know, it's not that he was unaware completely. It's sort of he also sort of letting him into it. So it's a different interpretation altogether. I don't think it's as straightforward as that and black and white as that.
A feminist version of Ahalya's story?
Oh yeah, okay. No, I said I did not know that some are saying that.
How challenging was the role to prepare to be the modern day Ahalya, not as Rishi's wife in a forest, but in an urban scenario?
I think it was challenging because I haven't played a part like that before. So I think anything new is challenging. And I tried to do certain things, sort of my body language, you know, sort of alter a few things to sort of bring Ahalya alive, you can say. And also I think it was in Bengali. It's the first time I've dubbed in Bengali. So that is also, I think, a little challenging.
Well, you've done a great job. Are you happy with the response that Ahalya is getting online?
Yeah, yes, I'm extremely happy with the response. I think it's a new beginning because we are all trying to experiment with a lot of things here, and I think the audience is ready for it. By experimentation, I mean not just content, but also the platform, because we're trying to bring theatres these days to laptops and screens and phones. So this digital release getting a good response is, I think, it makes me happy, because I think we're all in a sort of a state of transition.
A 15-minute long film. Usually people see a 3-hour long film or a 2-hour long English movie. This is just 15 minutes. So is this perhaps the 2020 version? Is this the future of feature films in India?
I don't know if it's the future, but yes, definitely it's a part of the future, and I don't think we can deny that at all. And I think it should be a part of the future.
Well, Radhika Apte, wish you super success. Many thanks for joining me here on the newsroom.